All right, here we have the skull. We're going to start first with, I would get out of the way of my video there. Start first with the sphenoid bone. It's the red bone. There's the greater wing, which is this big part, the lesser wing, which is the smaller part, and this little dip in the middle where your pituitary gland is the sella turcica. The purple is the ethmoid bone. The line right in the middle is the cribiform plate. We also, flipping around, have the zygomatic bone, which is the cheekbones. We have the lacrimal right here inside the eye. We also have the nasal bone, the maxilla bone, and then underneath here is the palatine bone. Then if we look at the other skull here, we have the frontal part, which is right here. There's a nice chunk missing out of it. There is the coronal suture. This top part is the parietal bone, and then behind in the back is the occipital bone. If you look on the inside, there's also colors. Purple, in this case, is frontal. The orangish red is parietal. Green is temporal. And the purple is occipital. Also right here on the side is that temporal bone. If I flip this up, we can see a big hole. That's the foramen magnum. And here's the mastoid process, and a little pokey thing here and here is the styloid process of the skull. Alright, moving on, let's do the scapula. This is a scapula. If I were to rip this out of my body, it would be my right scapula. Okay, rip it out like this, and so this is where the humerus goes. So this is the glenoid fossa. This is this little C-shaped thing is the coracoid process. The flat one is the acromion process. That leads then to the spine of the scapula. So the top is the supraspinous fossa, and then below that is the infraspinous fossa. So that's the scapula. So we'll go next then to the humerus, since it connects to the scapula. Here's the humerus. We have the head of the humerus. We have the greater tubercle here, the lesser tubercle here. This line is the anatomical neck, and below that is the surgical neck. With this nice little bumpy surface, that's the deltoid tuberosity. And going down to the lower part of the bone, we'll flip this around. That dip is the olecranon fossa. If I hold that, my finger is then on the trochlea. You can see that, and the nubbin right next to the trochlea is the capitulum. So that is the humerus. In the lower arm, this is the ulna. You can see the olecranon process here, the coronoid process here, and this little notch is the radial notch. We also have the styloid process at the end of that bone. Let's do the femur. The femur has a head, has a neck, a greater trochanter, a lesser trochanter. And if we follow along the head, we go all the way to the bottom here. We see this is the medial condyle, and this is the lateral condyle. And that will, if you look at the same side of the head, is the medial condyle, and then the other side is the lateral condyle of the femur, and this would be the the left femur. The foot, we look at the foot, we have phalanges, we have metatarsals. Right underneath the metatarsals we have three bones. Those are called cuneiforms. Underneath the cuneiforms we have the navicular, the talus, and then on the side is the big heels, the calcaneus. That leaves us the cuboid bone. So the square bone is the cuboid, three together cuneiforms, navicular, talus, and calcaneus. Last but not least, the hand. We have, I'm just going to take one of these fingers here. This is the distal phalange, the middle phalange, and then the proximal phalange. All of those are the metacarpals, so these are phalanges, the distal, middle, and proximal. Here is where your metacarpals are, and then your carpals are just scaphoid, lunate, triquetrum, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate, and you can repeat that after me and practice those things. We won't make you learn those on the actual bones themselves, but look at that cute little lunate right there. Here's a cute little hamate right there, that hook. Those are nice. Okay, thanks. Bye.